Whenever you're ready.
As a junior, I will be a member of Student Council, National Honor Society, the School Improvement Committee, and the Junior Livestock Committee. I will serve as my 4-H Club's president, the junior class secretary, the Junior Fair Board representative, a Junior Livestock Council representative, my J County Junior Leaders president, the District 6 FFA secretary, and the J County FFA chapter vice president. This, of course, is all on top of a handful of judging teams, a full course load of dual credit and advanced classes, and a barn full of livestock that have to be fed regardless of if it means I'm starting homework at 11:30. This long list of requirements that I've already begun stressing over do not make me an oddity. My friends and I all joke about who's going to burn out first. We compare how late we eat dinner and how few hours of sleep we get, and moan over B's on 10-point quizzes. We are all competing for the title of most overworked. So why is our generation working themselves ragged to the point that we are stumbling blearily through what we're supposed to be the most fun 4 years of our lives? Because we know that these 4 years will all come down to one application, one essay, and a handful of strangers on an admissions board will determine our futures and determine our worths based on a list of our accomplishments. We've been taught since childhood that a college degree is synonymous to stability, to success. But this can't possibly be true for everyone. It is only creating an incredibly high pressure situation. It is widening the divide between the wealthy and the impoverished and putting our nation's workforce in jobs they hate and thousands of dollars in student loan debts. We, as a society, must shift our focus from the confines of a 4-year university to a vision of a future where our goals are not limited to a 4-year university. We have created this culture in our daily interactions. We all know what to expect when we step into the guidance office, so there's an awkward pause in conversation with a relative we only see 3 times a year. Where do you want to go to college? This question holds a lot of weight for the ambitious, the lost, or the hopeless high school student. For the ambitious, that quick flash of doubt across their faces never fails to remind us of what a reach our college goals really are. For the lost, it's a harsh reminder that you better get it together, and for the hopeless, it's a blatant mockery of their struggles. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can the pressure to go to college be a problem for college material students? Our high school's finest own their successes in part to their natural tendency to strive for greatness. For some, this comes in the form of an acceptance letter from a prestigious 4-year university. Cornell University accepts 15.1% of applicants annually. In the class of 2022 alone, they declined over 49,000 students, many of them undoubtedly their high school's prime candidate for Ivy League elitism. For me, Cornell is a goal we're dreaming of, but likely unattainable, but for some, it's their only option. This tendency to set impossibly high standards can often be detrimental, as reported by Fox News over a situation that happened recently in India. At the end of April, students in India received their test scores from the BIE, the Board of Intermediate Education. Of the 1 million students, 350,000 failed as a result of a scoring error. As a result, there were protests from students, parents, and political parties, and 20 student suicides. According to Indian government statistics, pressure from parents to succeed in school is the #1 cause of suicide in India. Chief Minister Rao issued a statement pleading with students not to attempt suicide. Failing the test is not the end of life. But for those 20 students, it was. A failed BIE exam prevented these students from even applying to the universities that they'd been destined for since childhood. It was impossible for them to fathom that there was any place for them in this world without the college degree that society had told them they so desperately needed. It is even more difficult to fathom 20 individual lives lost at the hands of a standardized test. 20 students with incredibly bright futures. The United States education system is nearing this degree of competitory extreme. It is an undeniable fact that students today are working much harder than older generations for the same opportunities. As said by the Bureau of Education, students in 2009 were taking on average 27.1 credits annually. This is a significant jump from the 23.6 credits in 1990. 13% of 2009 students were taking courses labeled rigorous, much higher than the 5% of 1990. The same study also found that 80% of the 2009 students reported being overwhelmed. These increases have one clear source. They are directly linked in the increase in pressure to go to college. Some will crack under this pressure. As a college-minded society, it is often difficult for us to remember that the American dream is not the reality. Those who are unable to rise to the occasion are often facing incredible adversities that render them incapable of focusing on algebra or school involvement. Poorer children attend poorer schools, where textbooks are often outdated, staff morale is generally lower, class sizes are larger, and there's less equipment to go around. Some students have to get jobs as soon as they're of age to support their families, eliminating the opportunity of competing in athletic events or getting extra help after school. Those who can get by without an after-school job still often can't scrape together enough money for a uniform or membership dues. These factors, as well as many others, prevent students from getting scholarships or even acceptance letters. Without the college degree we've made a necessity, these students are unable to climb the socioeconomic ladder. Their children will face the same obstacles, and the poverty cycle will continue. We can only expect this opportunity gap to continue to widen as high school and college pressures increase. A simple shift in our language will eventually allow students to escape these poverty-stricken homes, will increase student and workforce morale, and overall lower the cost of a college education for those who choose to pursue them. We must check our privilege, whether it be the money in our pockets or the knowledge of where we belong in the workforce. We must stop asking, where do you want to go to college, and start asking, where do you see yourself in 10 years? We must start pushing vocational programs and trade schools as viable entry points into successful careers, rather than second-rate options for those who can't make it to college. We must start asking, how are you feeling, more than we're asking, how are your grades? I know it may seem impossible to change the mindset of the masses, but if we simply start to recognize that our straight A's don't make us better than the classmates who choose not to go to college, and that our officer positions and starting positions are due in part to our privilege, we can begin to create a warmer environment for those struggling through these 4 years and struggling to find their place in the workforce.